Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, where in today's video we're going to be continuing Naruto Tale of Two Sages, What If Naruto Was Louise's Familiar, Part 9. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and you like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Where we last left off with our series, we had Naruto being confronted by Pain of the Akatsuki. Somehow, with the assistance of the evil King Joseph, Pain has now found a way into the world of Familiar of Zero. The two striking a deal with the capture of Naruto in exchange for taking him away back to his original world. Because of this, Pain now finds himself locked in battle with Naruto. However, Naruto is not his only target. In order to send them back, Louise will be needed as well, and now the two find themselves at the mercy of Pain, as he and the Paths of Pain attempt to capture the both of them. Will Naruto and Louise be able to escape? And also, what will happen when other truths and revelations start to be revealed? For all this and more, stay tuned as we now continue. Naruto, The Tale of Two Sages. What If Naruto Was Louise's Familiar? Part 9. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Naruto carefully took in his surroundings. Knowing that he was in a fight against multiple enemies, he knew he'd have to think quick. He looked around and counted them all one by one. Excluding the woman who was flying in the air with what appeared to be paper wings, Naruto had at least 7 other beings to face against. These were the Paths of Pain, all 6, including the outer path. Naruto didn't have much knowledge on them or in their abilities, although from what he could tell, all of their eyes were of the same kind. The reason for this, he didn't entirely know. Naruto, holding Louise in his arms, knew that he'd have to think quickly. If he could make a few clones, then he could enter into Sage mode, but still that would take some time to charge. But for now, Naruto knew that he'd have to get them away from the academy. It was then that Naruto looked over into the distance. About a few miles away there was a forest, and under the dead of night, he might have the advantage. Before any of them could notice, Naruto let off a large smoke bomb, as multiple Narutos carrying multiple Louises would go running in multiple directions. The Paths of Pain kept their eyes focused as they saw one pair heading towards the forest, and they could tell that that was the real one. All the paths would go charging towards the real Naruto and Louise, as the other Narutos that were carrying around the clones that had transformed into Louise began to disperse and scatter one by one. However, one set did manage to make it back to the academy. Once getting inside, they would tell the headmaster of what had happened, and that the party needed to be shut down, and everyone needed to bunker up immediately. Also to send word to the outer village, and to make sure that all of the villagers were put in a safe location. Naruto, in the meanwhile, would carry Louise as fast as he could, with the other Paths of Pain close behind him. Naruto, who are they? They're bad guys. They're from my world. I don't know how they got here, but they're after me. And you. What are we going to do? I'm going to take them into the forest. If I can figure out what's going on, I might be able to stop them. Louise was going to say more, when one of the Paths of Pain attempted an attack. That being the Ashura path as it lifted its arm, launching a rocket towards them. Louise held up her wand, countering it with magic. The magical explosion from Louise, along with the missile, would collide, causing it to disperse and blow away. As Naruto continued to run, they went deep into the forest. Naruto attempting to find somewhere for Louise to hide. Once he found a small little cove where Louise could fit, he would tell her to get in immediately and to not come out. Louise wanted to protest, but she saw the seriousness on Naruto's face. She did as told and she hid, as Naruto continued to be on the move. Eventually the paths would find him, the Ashura path sending another missile. However, Durf would warn Naruto as he turned with a sword, cutting it in half but still taking the brunt of the explosion. As he landed in a clearing, all of the 7 paths would surround him, Konan flying above, shined by the might of the moon. Naruto Uzumaki, the Deva path would say. After all this time, we have now finally captured the 9 tails. You think so? Well, I'm not someone you can easily defeat. Is that right? I do hope that you will comply. There's no need for unnecessary violence. Unnecessary violence? You just threatened to blow up a building full of innocent people. Innocent, you say? It seems no matter what the world, the false illusion of innocence seems to prevail. Before you are captured, let me fill you in on some advice, Naruto. No one in this world is innocent. Everyone is guilty of something. You think that just because you defend them that it makes them right? There are other countries in this land that would beg to differ. But let me ask you, in the end of the day, are you merely going to side with one group because you like them? Is that why you're able to slaughter over 70,000? How did you? I know many things. I know enough to know that you were more than willing to help this country, merely because it was the world you landed in. But what if you had landed in a different country? What if their people were nice to you? Would you have turned around and used your power against this land? Against Louise? But you did. You have all this power, and yet in the end you let your own bias get the best of you. It would have been better if you had remained neutral. At least then it would show your sincerity. But I know of the crime you've committed here. In the end, you are no different from me or anyone else. The Devapath raised his hand as he pointed towards Naruto. Now, just let yourself be captured. Almighty push. Naruto would close his eyes. Dark patterns began to form around him as he opened once more. Pain could see that Naruto had entered into a form of Sage mode, although it didn't actually look like that of the Toad Sage. So he has Sage mode, just like how Master Jiraiya did. Master Jiraiya? You know Jiraiya? I do. He, just like you, I also served as his student and learned ninjutsu from him. I would say that he was a fine shinobi. And just what do you mean by fine? And what do you mean by was? Master Jiraiya is dead. And I am the one that killed him. Naruto would be frozen in place in that moment. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. Master Jiraiya was dead? No, that couldn't be. He was lying. He... Do you really think I would lie about something like that? Whether you face it or not, it is the truth. Master Jiraiya is gone from this world, and I am the one that took his life. Naruto could feel his anger beginning to fester. His eyes slowly starting to change once again. All that time he had spent prepping his sage mode, it seemed as though it meant nothing. Do you hate me, Naruto? Do I hate you? Oh, we're past that. And yet you still wish to fight us. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna kill you. The aura of the Nine Tails would start to ooze out of Naruto once again. The seal that had already been coming undone was now starting to be completely unraveled. Its chakra and its potency was starting to form like a miasma all throughout the forest. The paths of pain felt as though there was little that they could do. The animal path would back away as it used the summoning jutsu, summoning a multi-headed dog and a pair of rhinoceros. The three animal summonings would go charging towards Naruto. However, as Naruto's skin began to burn off, the only thing remaining, that being of the monstrous form of the four-tailed state, Naruto would merely brush aside the summonings. Instantly, the Preta Path would look to try to close in on Naruto to gain the advantage. However, before the Preta Path could even have a chance, Naruto would grab it by the face and crush it, its very head being destroyed. The Deva Path would move back looking to create space, attempting to use the almighty push. As he did so, the force of the push would go echoing throughout the forest, creating a massive traitor trail. However, Naruto would not be dissuaded. A monstrous yell could be heard all throughout the sky. The Naraka Path would get to work, healing the paths that had been damaged, taking them over to the outer path to be healed. As the pains would regroup, Konan would attempt to assist. She created multiple paper bombs and tried to wrap them around Naruto. However, every time they came within a close proximity to him, they burnt away. The aura of Naruto's chakra was radiating so much that it burnt the very paper into ash before they could be anywhere nearly as effective. However, Naruto's transformation was not done, as outside of his body, a skeleton would start to form, along with another tail beginning to sprout. Things were starting to look bad, and the power of the Nine Tails was more than what Pain could have been expecting. The animal path would summon more animals once again to go charging at Naruto. However, Naruto would blitz them, rushing ahead and slamming its body right into their skulls, destroying them and causing them to be unsummoned. The Deva Path would look to try to launch another almighty push. However, Naruto had moved faster, and he wasn't able to get a clear sight on him. Naruto would then charge at the group of the Paths of Pain. While Pain wasn't too fond of using more than necessary violence against the Jinchuriki, looking to try to keep it on its toes and help keep it alive long enough until they extracted the Biju. In the end, he might have to make an exception, as instantly Naruto would charge at the animal path, burying both of its fists into its chest, ripping its arms out and ripping the body of the animal path in half. The Preta Path would step in next, as it wrapped its arms around Naruto, trying to siphon away its chakra. However, Naruto would just continue to roar and to yell out in anger. The Preta Path, the more it absorbed the Nine Tails chakra, the more it began to burn on the inside. The chakra, while it was potent, it almost served like a burning poison that seemed to erode the body from within. Eventually, the prayer path would drop Naruto as its insides began to burn to the point where it started to be set aflame on the outside, until eventually it too burnt away into nothing. The outer path was easily disposed of along with the Naraka path. The human path would attempt to rip out the soul. However, it did not have the power to do so, and in one fell swoop, it would be decapitated by the tails of Naruto. The Ashura path would put up a decent fight, taking off its cloak as it launched every missile and payload at its disposal. However, in the end, it did nothing against Naruto. Naruto would charge at the Ashura path. The Ashura path would be ripped apart. Naruto would open his mouth as his monstrous teeth gnawed at the neck of the Ashura, chewing and ripping away at it like a ravenous beast that hadn't had a meal. It was a sight that was most unsettling, until only the Deva path was left. As it stared down Naruto, the two would begin their confrontation, the ground itself being shooken from the fight between the two. Louise would move from her hiding place. As she tried to make sense of what was going on, she would hear a familiar voice. It was Durf, the sword. Louise ran over towards it and picked it up from under the destroyed debris of the trees and the branches. Durf, what's going on? It's Naruto. That power of his, it seemed to have gone out of control. What? But how could this be? It seemed as though his master has died. What? Jiraiya? Yes. Apparently these individuals killed him, and because of that, it caused Naruto to suffer unimaginable pain, to the point where it seems as though he's lost all control of his senses. Louise could feel the emotion. Because of the pact that she had with Naruto being her familiar, she could feel the pain that Naruto felt. She could feel it deep within the vestiges of her own heart. She could feel that it was breaking, to have experienced the loss of someone that you hold very close. It was almost to the point where it moved her to tears. She could even feel them welling up, and a few began to stream down her face. Pain in the meanwhile was trying to hold his own against Naruto. However, Naruto was not one to easily be contained or controlled. Immediately, Konan would fly down next to her. As Louise looked to her, "It will all be over soon, I promise you. What we're trying to do, it's to make the world a better..." "Don't even say it! How could any of this lead to a better world?" "You don't understand, young girl. What we're trying to do, it requires the power that Naruto possesses." "But what about what you've put him through? What about what Naruto wants?" "We understand, but..." "No, you don't. You couldn't possibly understand. Naruto's my familiar. Do you know what that means?" Konan shook her head. She wasn't familiar with the term of familiar, so to speak. "It means we have a bond. A bond where we feel each other's pain. Right now, the only thing I feel in my heart is immense pain. And it's because of what you've done to him. Naruto, he's never one to talk about himself or his problems. He doesn't like to. But at times, when he's all alone, he thinks about everything in his life. All of the hardships. everything he's had to endure. And it fills him with immense pain. I never told him this, but I can feel it. I feel his pain in his heart. And it's so immense. It's so powerful that it's overwhelming. It reaches to a point sometimes where it's just not even bearable. I can't imagine what he's been through. But what you're trying to do now, you're only adding to more of his pain. You killed someone that he loved. How could any of that ever be peaceable? As Konan listened to the words of Louise, as she looked at the young pink-haired girl, as she continued to cry, even Konan was moved. This young girl had a relationship with Naruto, a bond, if you will, one that was stronger than any bond that she had ever seen, a bond that understood the pain of loss and the feeling of having what you love taken from you. For Konan, she thought about her old friend Yahiko, and how this wasn't what Yahiko would have wanted for them. All this time they talked and they preached about bringing true peace to the world, and yet the actions that they had taken, the atrocities that they had caused, not just in their world, but the world now. How could they ever call that true peace? How could anything that the Akatsuki had done ever been true peace? In the end, it was nothing more but more violence upon violence. They weren't bringing an end to the cycle. The cycle was only continuing to spread. And if it didn't end, then it would only continue on further and further. Konan would fly into the air as she moved towards the battlefield, Louise following close behind, on foot. Meanwhile, inside of Naruto's own mind, he could feel himself breaking and slipping. As more tails began to sprout, Naruto began to transform further and further into that of the 9 tails. To lose Jiraiya, remembering the last time they had seen one another. To be in front of his master's killer. The only thing he could think of was revenge. And in the meanwhile, with pain, he was trying his best to hold off Naruto as his power continued to grow. Using all of the power that he had within himself, he began to use planetary devastation as the earth began to fly into the air with Naruto. The 9 tails' power continued to grow along with its size as he tried to hold it in place. However, as he was doing so, Konan would stand before him. Nagato, listen to me. Konan, what are you doing here? You need to go away. I've almost got him. Our plan, it has to stop. What? It has to stop. We can't keep doing this. What do you mean? You know of our dream for true peace. This is not peace. We're only bringing more chaos. Not just from our world, but to this one as well. Why the change, Konan? Because, for once, I'm opening my eyes. Yahiko is dead. We tried so hard to be peaceable. And yet what did the world give us in return? We were betrayed. We were abandoned. We were left to rot. You don't think I fight with the same mental struggle? You don't think that I wrestle with those emotions? You don't think that I'm not aware? I know completely, more than anyone. The path that we've taken It's not for the faint of heart. It's not a path that can easily be shred, but in the end, it is one that we must walk. This is our version of peace. Our version of peace will mean nothing if everyone is dead. Tell me, just how many people are you prepared to kill for your peace? As many as necessary. If that's truly how you feel, then you are lost. Konan would immediately send paper flying towards the Deva path as it began to wrap itself around his body. Konan, what are you doing? If you don't stop this now, I will. Konan, think about what you're doing right now. I am the only thing keeping the Nine Tails in check. If you kill me now, there won't be any more bodies left to use. There will be nothing to stop him from going on a rampage. Konan now had to think about their position. He was right. She couldn't actually kill him because he was the only power that was keeping the Nine Tails in check. If she were to destroy him, there wouldn't be anything that they could do. As they were still arguing with one another, trying to come up with something, Louise would go running by. As she attempted to make her way, she would move over towards the large ball of rock floating in the sky. She yelled out to Naruto. She begged for him to stop, for him to come back to his senses. In the meantime, Naruto would still be fighting the inner rage, the hatred, as he found himself before the cage of the nine-tailed fox. So, Naruto, you finally come to your senses. Give in to your anger and your hatred. The man who killed your master now lies before you. He threatened the life of Louise, and he wishes to do harm to your village. Are you really just going to let that slide? No. What do you want? What do you desire? I want vengeance. I want him to pay. I want him to pay for what he did. Then take my power, Naruto. Take my power and claim your vengeance. Undo the seal, and I promise you, I will lay waste to everyone who wishes to do you harm. Just undo the seal, Naruto. Undo the seal and unleash my full power. Naruto moved to do just so, at the beckoning voice of the Nine Tails. However, before he could even attempt to, a hand would grab his and push him away. What? You? It's been a long time, Nine Tails. I must say, it's almost nostalgic to see you here. Don't exchange pleasantries with me, Lord Fourth. It's because of you that I've been imprisoned in this brat. If it wasn't for this cage, I'd rip you limb from limb. I'd very much like to see you try. However, I don't have much time, and you're in the way. The mysterious figure would weave hand signs as the Nine Tails started to disappear. This isn't over, Lord Fourth. Soon I'll be free, and all of your work will mean nothing. I'm sorry about that, Naruto. The Nine Tails can be a bit loud for me, And if I was going to talk to you, it should be somewhere more secure. Huh? Who are you? Naruto would look closer at the man, seeing the robe that he wore and the insignia on the back. The fourth Hokage. You're the fourth Hokage? It's really you? Yes, it's me, Naruto. And while I am the fourth Hokage, I would prefer if you called me Father. Father? Yes. I am your father, after all. You're my... Naruto would be ecstatic. Multiple emotions would go racing through him all at once. Like in the original, Naruto would have his meeting with the fourth Hokage. Just like in the original story, Naruto would feel a strong sense of anger towards his father for sealing the Nine Tails inside of him, noting all of the hardships that came with it, and feeling the pain of loss. As this version of Naruto will have experienced the true pain for the first time with the death of Jiraiya and being confronted by his killer all in one go. However, Minato would offer his son words of encouragement, noting that the reason he gave Naruto the Nine Tails was because he believed he could master its power, a power he believed he was going to need if he was going to save Konoha from the threat of who Minato believed to be the true enemy, the one that was known as Madara Uchiha. Naruto would learn more about the night that he was born, learning that it was a man in the mask, a man in an orange mask in particular, who had attacked the village. And now, he feared that he would do so again in the near future. However, Naruto would tell of his predicament, that right now he was stuck in another world and he had no way of getting back. He had tried using reverse summoning, and he had to try to figure out this world's form of power if that was the only way he could get back home. However, Minato explained that that might just be capable. You see, because of the ritual that Louise had done, unknown to Naruto, there were actually a lot more people present inside of him than he truly realized. Of course, this was a power that Minato simply couldn't fathom, since the line between chakra and magic, while it was thin, it separated them and made them worlds apart. However, there was one piece of advice that he could give to Naruto. It was about that mirror of truth. He believed that if Naruto went back inside, he'd be able to master the power of the Nine Tails. You think so? The power of the Nine Tails is based on hatred. I believe if you can overcome that hate, it will tap into the power that's lying dormant within you. I know you have the skill to do it, because after all, you are my son. Naruto smiled, his father pulling him into a hug. I'm going to redo the seal, Naruto, but this will be for the last time. You're going to eventually meet other people within your consciousness. People who will be able to help you on your journey. And one more thing. Louise? She's really cute, isn't she? Naruto would blush madly at that revelation. The fact that his father was aware of Louise was more than shocking. As the seal was restructured, the Nine Tails that had started to form and it reached up to its 8 tails would disappear. As the meteor began to crash to the ground, Louise would be blown back, Konan catching her as the Deva path was now forced to let go. And now standing before him was none other than Naruto, who was now back in his pure sage mode once again. He looked over to see all of the damage and destruction that had been caused, immediately rushing over to Louise's side and grabbing her. Tears also flowing from him as well, making sure that she was alright, as Louise also held him in the embrace. Seeing the two of them like this, even Pain was moved to see a true, genuine form of love, a love that truly understood one another, two individuals that could truly claim to share and understand one another's pain. Because of this, Naruto would still be on his guard as he grabbed his sword, standing at the ready as the Devapath and Konan stood before him. At ease, Uzumaki. I have no intention on fighting you any further. What? I see now that I was wrong. Perhaps you can understand one another's pain. And maybe my ideals, while I believe them to be good, they have only added to more and more unnecessary bloodshed. Naruto and Pain would come to an understanding. He hadn't forgiven him for taking the life of Jiraiya, but at the same time he was slowly learning how to deal with the pain of loss. Naruto would also be made aware of how Pain had gotten here in the first place. Louise would also be shocked by this news. The idea that King Joseph, he had actually done that? He was attempting to blackmail Tabata. However, it seems as though it has not gone his way. So he wanted Louise, and he wanted to get rid of me, Naruto would say. Yes, right now my main body is back at his castle. Of course, he doesn't know that I'm speaking to you right now. However, even for my power, in my current state, I cannot do anything. Wait a minute, Louise would say. Your body, it just needs to be healed, right? Yes. However, there's nothing that I can do for it with the way I am now. But I think we might... What? We might have a way to fix you. Can you really? I think we might, if we can get your body. I'm currently in his castle. His kingdom is in the north of here. I see. So we just have to find a way to get to you, right? Yes. I believe if we use reverse summoning, Konan and I can return back to our homeworld, Naruto. However, from what I've learned, you will still be stuck here until you figure out another way back. Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately. Hey, I don't know if you know or not, but do you know anything about Sasuke or... Sasuke, the brother of Itachi Uchiha? His whereabouts have been unknown since Itachi's death. What? Itachi's death? Yes. It seems as though Sasuke was successful in killing Itachi. However, after that, he joined the Akatsuki. He had been sent to go and capture the Eight Tails. But why would Sasuke do that? I do not know. To be honest, there are many things I do not know. But I do make you this one promise, Naruto. The Deva Path looked towards Naruto and Louise with seriousness. I cannot undo the wrongs that I have committed, and I fully intend to accept the consequences. However, I do wish to do some right. If you can truly restore my body back to what it used to be, and I can regain the power I once had, when I return to the world, me and Konan will right the wrongs of the Akatsuki, and we will bring it to an end. Bring it to an end? Naruto would say. What do you mean by that? If I am restored, I will return back to my world, and I will personally see the end of Madara Uchiha. This concludes What If Naruto Was Louise's Familiar? Naruto, The Tale of Two Sages, Part 9. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting stats to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned later on this afternoon as we are going to be doing the first Episode 1 review of Chainsaw Man. This is going to be something that will be regular on the channel every Tuesday afternoons. I am going to be giving you a review of the Chainsaw Man anime since it comes out every Tuesday around 12 o'clock in the afternoon on Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to be watching it when I have the chance during the day, and when I come home I will do a brief recording for the anime and I will give you a review, and that's what we're going to be having on our channels on Tuesdays going forward. So stay tuned for that later on today as well. And stay tuned for tomorrow as we are going to be continuing My Hero Academia The Dark Knight Returns, What If Deku Was Batman Part 9. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.